Thanks, Ryan. We'll start the segment by sending our congratulations to the Humber Hawks men and women's basketball team who won their OCAA championships. For more on the games, check Jonathan Tonnen's Humber Hawks recap at SkedLive.com. Meanwhile, Peyton Manning is hanging his cleats. The Denver Broncos announced on Sunday that the five-time NFL MVP quarterback is retiring. Manning called the team on Saturday night, informing his decision to call it a career. Manning won 2 Super Bowls during his 18-year career as a quarterback. He set numerous NFL and single-season records, including passing yards and passing touchdowns. He played for the Indianapolis Colts for 14 years, where he won his first Super Bowl. This year, he earned his second Super Bowl win with the Denver Broncos. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said in a statement, Peyton's competitive fire and love of the game made him a legendary player who thrilled fans for a generation. Meanwhile, rival quarterback Tom Brady posted on Facebook, "Congratulations, Peyton, on an incredible career. You changed the game forever and made everyone around you better. It's been an honor." From one superstar to another, Maria Sharapova is having a press conference right now where she is expected to announce her retirement. The 5-time Grand Slam champion has struggled during the past months due to a string of injuries. This year, she pulled out from a couple of tournaments because of a left forearm injury. Sharapova hasn't competed since her quarterfinal exit at the Australian Open. On Thursday, she announced her withdrawal from Indian Wells due to the same forearm injury. In some sad news, a Canadian boxer was among the 3 killed in Dubai on Sunday when the Ferrari they were driving slammed into a lamppost and split in half. Cody Nixon, a Toronto boxer and world traveler, represented Ontario at the Canadian Boxing Championships in 2012. Nixon recounted his adventures around the world on his Instagram account, Travel with Cody. It shows him skydiving and scuba diving. Global Affairs Canada confirmed that the 2 of the victims were Canadians. The Canadian consular officials in the United Arab Emirates will provide assistance to the families. In basketball, the Raptors were in action during the Sixers' birthday. The Toronto Raptors saw an 18 lead disappear as the Houston Rockets complete a comeback to win Sunday night's Game 113-107 in front of a sellout crowd. The loss ended their 12 consecutive home wins. It was Houston's first win in Toronto in 9 games. Their last win was in March 2007. Luis Scola led the Raptors offense, scoring 21 points and made 12 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan had 19 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds, while Kyle Lowry finished with 17 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. Meanwhile, Houston Rockets' James Harden had a big night, scoring 40 points with 14 assists and 5 rebounds. Dwight Howard finished with 21 points, an assist, and 11 rebounds. The Raptors are back in action on Tuesday against the Brooklyn Nets. In other hardwood action, the Los Angeles Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors 112-95. That stunned many NBA fans. It is the first time a 900 team got defeated by a team with a record under 200. Steph Curry was 1 for 10 beyond the arc. He scored 18 points and 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, Jordan Clarkson led the Lakers offense with 25 points. D'Angelo Russell scored 21 points with 5 assists and 3 rebounds. To the ice rink we go. The National Hockey League announced on Sunday that the Winnipeg Jets will take on the Edmonton Oilers in the 2016 Tim Hortons Heritage Classic. The game will take place at Investors Group Field, the home stadium of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, on October 23rd. It will feature Oilers rising NHL star Connor McDavid. Legendary players from each team will play on an alumni game the day before. It will headline the great one Wayne Gretzky as the Oilers team captain, and he will be opposed by Dale Hawerchuk as the Jets captain. This will be the Jets' first outdoor game, while it's the Oilers' second time outside, as they hosted an outdoor game in 2003 at Commonwealth Stadium. Speaking of the Jets and the Oilers, they faced against each other on Sunday night. Laurie Korpikoski scored the go-ahead goal late in the second period for Edmonton as they defeated Winnipeg 2-1. Pat Maroon opened the scoring for the Oilers. Cam Talbot made 39 saves for Edmonton. Mark Scheifele scored the only goal for Winnipeg. Jets goalie Andre Pavlik allowed 2 goals on 31 shots in the loss. The other Canadian team in action on Sunday were the Ottawa Senators. After a win on Saturday against the Leafs, the Senators lost to the Dallas Stars 2-1. Stars left wing Antoine Roussel scored the go-ahead goal during the third period. Jason Spezza also scored during the game. Stars goalie Kari Lehtonen made 23 saves. Zach Smith scored the lone goal for the Sens. Goalie Andrew Hammond allowed 2 goals and made 23 saves in the loss. Tonight's game include the Leafs hosting the Sabres, Calgary at home against the Sharks, and the Canucks in Los Angeles against the Kings. Switching to some soccer, the Toronto FC was victorious in their season opener 2-0 against the New York Red Bulls on Sunday afternoon. TFC star Sebastian Giovinco opened the scoring from the penalty spot in the 82nd minute. He also set up Marco Delgado's injury time goal. Sunday's win against the Red Bulls was the first in 7 matches played at the Red Bull Arena. They will play the New York FC next Sunday. TFC won't play their home opener until May 7 as constructions and renovations are being done at BMO Field. They start the season with 8 consecutive road games. TFC wasn't the only Canadian team in action. The Montreal Impact and the Vancouver Whitecaps also opened their season playing against each other yesterday. The Impact came on top with a 3-2 win against the Whitecaps at BC Place Stadium. Ignacio Piatti scored 2 goals for Montreal in the win. Dominic Oduro added a goal of his own, while Impact's goalie Evan Bush made 8 saves. Jordan Harvey and Kendall Watson provided goals for Vancouver, while their goalie David Ousted allowed 3 goals and made 2 saves. Montreal will play the New York Red Bulls next Saturday, while Vancouver will take on Kansas City. Before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to Mikael Kingsbury and Chloe Dufour Lapointe as they made history in the FIS World Cup, winning the Crystal Globe in men and women's respectively. It is the first time 2 Canadians were awarded the mogul skiing title in the same year. That's all from the sports desk. I'm Brian Aguilar. Back to you, Ryan. Thanks, Shay. Here are the latest from the SkedLive sports desk. Congratulations are in order to the Humber Hawks women's volleyball team as they bagged a bronze medal in the CCAA Volleyball Championships. They won 3-1 against Briarcrest. 2 women from the team were named at the tournament's All-Stars. Other action this week, the women's basketball team will face St. Mary's in the quarterfinals at the CCAA Women's Basketball Championships in Windsor, while the men's basketball team will be in Fort McMurray, Alberta, where they will face the Comison College from BC in the CAA Men's Basketball Championships. I just want to say good luck to everyone competing this week. Meanwhile, let's go to some action in the ice. Jonathan Bernier made 38 saves for his 12th career shutout and the 3rd of the season as the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Detroit Red Wings 1-0 Sunday night. Michael Grabner scored for Toronto, which recorded its first regulation win since February 25. Peter Mrazek made 26 saves for Detroit. Benson Rangers' Matt Collins' tie-breaking goal in the 3rd period powered the Pittsburgh Penguins to a 5-3 win over the New York Rangers on Sunday. Connor Sheary scored twice, and Patrick Hornquist and Sidney Crosby each added another for Pittsburgh, which improved to 36, 24, and 8. Lightning and Blue Jackets' Steven Stamkos scored twice, giving him 31 goals on the season, as the Tampa Bay Lightning cruised to a 4-0 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets on Sunday. Lightning goaltender Ben Bishop had a 33-save shutout, the 16th of his career. Moving on to the turf, the Toronto FC managed a 2-2 draw in their meeting against the New York FC on Sunday. The TFC was down 2-0 early in the first half, but managed to claw their way back with goals from Damien Perquis and TFC star Sebastian Giovinco. TFC goalie Clint Irwin was credited with 4 saves. TFC hasn't won a game against the NYCFC. They have 2 losses and 2 draws against the New York team. TFC will face Sporting Kansas City next. Speaking of Kansas City, they won against the Vancouver Whitecaps 2-1 in other MLS action over the weekend, while the Montreal Impact toppled the New York Red Bulls 3-0. To the hardwood we go. The Toronto Raptors will face the Chicago Bulls tonight. The Raps haven't won a game against the Bulls this season. They are 0-3 and are looking to snatch a win in their final regular game against Chicago. The Bulls have won 8 straight games against Toronto since February 2014, are a game back out of a playoff spot, while Toronto sits second in the Eastern Conference. In other NBA action, Cavaliers Clippers LeBron James scored 27 points as the Cleveland Cavaliers crushed the LA Clippers 114-90 Sunday. It's the Cavs' 3rd straight and 6th win in 7 games. J.R. Smith, who hit 5 3-pointers, and Kyrie Irving added 17 points apiece for the Cavs. Pacers and Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks earned a split of the 4-game season series against Indiana by continuing their home dominance of the Pacers on Sunday night. The Hawks closed the 3rd quarter on a 35 run to make the game a rout and rolled to a 104-75 victory for their 16th win in the past 17 regular season home games against Indiana. Let's switch gears and head to the Diamond. The Blue Jays continued to have an impressive spring training as they defeated the Tampa Bay Rays 6-1 yesterday to make their record 10-2, which is good for first place in the Grapefruit League. Candidates for the 5th spot in the rotation pitch on Sunday. Aaron Sanchez went 4 innings, striking out 4 and allowing only 1 hit, while Gavin Floyd struck out 5 in 3 innings. He pitched and gave up 1 run. Other news that came out of the Blue Jays camp, Fox Sports' Ken Rosenthal wrote that the Jays are willing to give Jose Bautista a Yoenis Cespedes type of deal. The Mets signed Cespedes to a 3-year contract worth $75 million with an opt-out after the first season. Now we head to the desert hard courts. The U.S. Tennis Association have announced that former WTA CEO and Canadian Stacey Alister will be its new chief executive of professional tennis. Alister will oversee the U.S. Open, the U.S. Open Series, the Davis Cup, and the Fed Cup. She was the first female tournament director of an ATP Masters event when she held the position for Rogers Cup. Alister became the chief executive of the Women's Tour in 2009 before resigning 6 months ago. Speaking of Canada, 2 Canadians will be in action today at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells, California. Eugenie Bouchard is looking to continue her winning ways as she faces Timea Bashinsky of Switzerland in their 3rd round battle. This will be the first meeting between the 2 players. Bouchard leads the women's tour with most match wins so far this year. In the men's side, Milos Raonic will face Australia's Bernard Tomic in their 3rd round match. The 2 players have faced each other twice, with the Canadian winning both matches. Their last meeting was in Brisbane, Australia this year, where Raonic came out on top in straight sets. Now for Canadian race fans, James Hinchcliffe finished 19th in his return to the IndyCar tracks in the season opener at the St. Petersburg Grand Prix in Florida on Sunday. The Oakville, Ontario native missed the final 12 events of last season following a near-fatal crash on May last year during an Indianapolis 500 practice. Juan Pablo Montoya won the race for the 2nd consecutive year, beating Penske teammate Simon Pagenaud by 2.3 seconds. Now before I go, here are the other things that happened in Canadian sports this weekend. Alberta's Kevin Coe defeated Newfoundland and Labrador's Brad Gushue 9-5 to win the 2016 Tim Hortons Brier Cup. The Calgary Inferno won their first ever Canadian Women's Hockey League Clarkson Cup after defeating the Les Canadiens of Montreal 8-3. Canada's Rugby 7 team finished 9th in the inaugural HSBC Canada Sevens on Sunday. The team won 5 of its 6 games yesterday. New Zealand brought home the title. That's all from us from the sports desk. I'm Brian Aguilar. Back to you, Shay, in the studio.